Welcome to the Common Core Clinic's Math training video. This video will provide you with an in-depth view of the Common Core Clinic's product. You will have an opportunity to view important details and highlights of the student edition. We believe Common Core Clinics will be a huge help in transitioning teaching and student learning to the Common Core state standards. Common Core Clinics were created to help teachers transition to the Common Core state standards. The format of the Common Core is dramatically different from previous state-specific standards, so teachers and students will need materials to introduce and ease them into it. Each lesson within the clinics includes quality instruction, guided practice, and independent practice. The student practice is comprised of short answer and open-ended questions to emphasize critical thinking skills. The Common Core Clinics books are not test prep. There's no test yet. The purpose of this product is to give the students a stepping stone from where they were when learning state-specific standards to where they need to be when learning the Common Core state standards. There is a teacher's guide that comes with this product that acts as an answer key for the questions within the books. To give teachers maximum flexibility in the transition to the Common Core, there are different clinics books for each grade level. Each book will cover one or more of the domains based on the Common Core state standards for math, and each book will include approximately 10 lessons. Clinics can be used in a whole class setting to reinforce or reteach basic skills for all students, or they can be used in small group settings to meet the needs of individual students within a general classroom, or they can even be used in after-school or summer school settings. What better way to learn about this product than to take a detailed look at the pages in the student edition? It may be helpful for you to follow along and make notes in your own copy of the Common Core Clinics books. Feel free to stop or pause at any time to go back and read the callouts that appear in the slides. In this video, I will review a Grade 1 and a Grade 5 book, but the structure and layout for all lessons at each grade level and each book will be the same. Each book begins with an introduction for the students to help them understand the layout of their book. Each lesson is structured the exact same way and is based on the gradual release of responsibility model. In Grade 1 and 2, the students start with Get the Idea, which is the guided instruction for the teacher to model the concept. The guided practice provides students help while they practice, and the Try It is independent practice. At the back of the book, the students have access to a glossary and math tools for additional assistance if necessary. In the 3rd through 8th grade books, the students start with highlighting keywords necessary for the lesson, as well as an example for the guided instruction. There is guided practice with hints called Think and Remember to help students work through the problem. Then they have independent practice to practice on their own, and finally a glossary and math tools at the back of the book as a resource while they work. Taking a look at the table of contents for Grade 1 and 5, you'll notice that all the Common Core standards are covered in a variety of lessons. The lessons are all correlated to the Common Core standards, so the teachers and the students can see how some lessons can blend together. Some of the concepts covered in the Grade 1 book you may have previously seen in a Grade 2 book. The reason for that is because Common Core is pushing down the curriculum in order for students to start learning concepts earlier. The Common Core standards have higher expectations and higher rigor, and this product really emphasizes that. Since the lessons within a Grade 1 and Grade 2 book are slightly different from the lessons in the Grade 3 through 8 books, we will take a look at a lesson from a Grade 1 book first, then go through a lesson from Grade 5. The lessons in Grades 1 and 2 are structured the exact same. We reviewed the different components of the lessons in the All About Your Book introduction on slide 5. Now let's take a look at them in action. We will dive into a lesson from the Number and Operations in Base 10 book. The Operations and Algebraic Thinking and the Measurement, Data, and Geometry books will have the same lesson format throughout. Remember, 3 different books were created to allow the teacher to have flexibility in teaching the Common Core state standards, as well as ease the students into the higher rigor that the Common Core standards require. We begin with Lesson 1, Count Objects. The students begin with the Get the Idea, and this is meant to be guided instruction and modeled by the teacher. The students are then provided with 2 stepped-out examples to help them think through how to solve the problem. Next, the students move to the guided practice, and this can be done together as a class or in groups. The students are provided with a reminder of what they just learned, and then given the opportunity to practice the concept on their own. Finally, the students come to the Try It section of the lesson. This is meant to be independent practice. The students do not have any instruction or guidance with this practice, but they are asked to practice the same strategy they learned on the previous pages. Finally, at the back of the Grade 1 book, the students are provided with an illustrated glossary and examples of terms found throughout the book. The students also receive math tools to use as resources when they are working on the independent practice. We just reviewed the Number and Operations in Base 10 Grade 1 book. You will want to skim through the Operations and Algebraic Thinking and the Measurement, Data, and Geometry books to familiarize yourself with the material. The components and layout of the lessons within all 3 books will be the same. Now we're going to take a look inside the Grade 5 Number, Operations, and Algebraic Thinking book. We've reviewed the different components of the lessons in the All About Your Book introduction on Slide 5. And we also reviewed the table of contents on Slide 6. The Number and Operations, Fractions, and the Measurement, Data, and Geometry books will have the same lesson format throughout. Remember, 3 different books were created to allow the teacher to have flexibility in teaching the Common Core state standards, as well as ease the students into the higher rigor of the Common Core. Just like with the Grade 1 and 2 books, the lesson structure is based on the gradual release of responsibility model. Again, the lesson begins with the guided instruction. This is where the teachers will work together with the students and model the concept being taught. The key word box highlights vocabulary and concepts that will be taught within this lesson. Then the students have a stepped-out example to help explain what the math is doing. The guided instruction will always have an extension on the concept being taught to help the students take their learning a few steps further. This reflects the higher level expectations of the Common Core. On the next page of the lesson, the students have guided practice, where the problems are again stepped out for the students to walk them through how to work out the problem. There are hints and remember clues along the way to give the students additional support as they work. The last part of the lesson is the independent practice section, where the students will practice a variety of problems. There is an emphasis on open-ended and short answer questions to help the students transition to the writing that Common Core will require. The independent practice also includes an extension question to make sure the students understand the concept and can take it a few steps further. At the end of each independent practice, there are a couple of word problems, so the students can continue to practice the strategy they just learned in a different format. Finally, at the back of the Grade 5 book, just like we saw at the back of the Grade 1 book, the students are provided with a glossary of terms found throughout the book. The students also receive math tools to use as additional resources when they are working on the independent practice. We just reviewed the Number, Operations, and Algebraic Thinking Grade 5 book. You will want to skim through the Number and Operations Fractions and Measurement, Data, and Geometry books to familiarize yourself with the material. The components and layout of the lessons within all 3 books will be the same. Remember, with the Common Core Clinics Math, not all grade levels have the same number of books. Please refer to slide 3 for a detailed list of each grade level and their book titles. Now that you've seen lessons from a grade 1 and grade 5 book, let's do a quick review of the Common Core Clinics. All of the content within the clinics books was created specifically to address the Common Core state standards. Each grade will have a different number of books to allow the teacher maximum flexibility when transitioning into teaching the Common Core domains. You will not find multiple choice questions within the clinics books. Rather, all the questions are short answer and open-ended to help promote critical thinking. Finally, and most importantly, the clinics product is not test prep. Clinics will give the instruction students need to have a stepping stone from where they were when learning state-specific standards to where they need to be when learning the Common Core state standards. We hope you have found this training video to be informative and helpful. We appreciate you taking the time to learn about the Common Core Clinics Math product and how it can effectively help teachers and students transition to the Common Core. For more information about this product and to review the books for all grades, visit triumphlearning.com.